Hi everyone! I've just booked my next trip to Japan. For the first time I'm going to be going outside Tokyo and going to Kyoto and visiting Hiroshima and Miyajima. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to be filming, so if you've got any recommendations or if there's anything you'd like to see, put them in the comments. Lots of people ask me about planning a trip to Japan, so I'm making this video to help you out based on my own experiences and the sorts of things that I wanted to know before I first went. When's the best time to go? Spring and autumn are both good times. I've been at the start of June and it was really warm and sunny, but that is a bit of a risky time because it's just before the start of the rainy season, which is mid-June to July. Summer can get really hot and humid and can be uncomfortable, and you'll also want to avoid Golden Week, which is at the end of April, start of May, because there's several bank holidays and it can get pretty busy in touristy areas. Unfortunately, there isn't a time of year when it doesn't rain, so you just need to be prepared for that. However, in all the time I've spent there's only been a couple of rainy days, and it definitely won't stop you having a good time. How long should I go for? Even if you're just going to Tokyo, there's loads to do. On my next trip, I'm going to be going to Kyoto as well, so I'm going for 2 weeks and I'm going to be doing some day trips to other areas. Previously, I've spent 7 to 10 days in Tokyo and not run out of things to do. Do I need to know Japanese? In Tokyo, lots of signs are in English, a lot more than I expected when I first went, and some people speak English, so you can get by if you don't know Japanese. However, it helps to learn a few basic phrases like please and thank you, and like anywhere, people appreciate it if you at least attempt to speak the language. But if you are interested in learning Japanese, a trip is the best motivation. Learn some practical phrases like how to order food and drink and how to buy things. Do you need to go on a tour or can you go independently? On a tour, you might get to have experiences that would be difficult to organise yourself, and it's a lot easier, but you are on their timetable and you might miss out on particular things that interest you. I always go independently and book everything myself because I like to do my own thing. Travel agents don't tend to have a lot to offer, so I just book the flights, then find a hotel I like the look of. Places like Expedia are really good. Remember that Japanese hotels aren't always available to book more than a few months in advance. If you're going independently, you just have to do a bit more research, but it's totally possible and it's really easy to get around. Lots of signs are in English, there's English menus, all the signs on the subway are in English too, so it's totally possible and you can survive. How long's the flight? Direct flights from the UK are 12 hours, which is pretty long, but it's not that bad. I like flying with ANA because the service is really good and it's pretty comfortable. They were also the lowest cost direct flight, which might not always be the case, so shop around. You can save money by changing flights. I chose not to do that because I worry about missing a connection or the bags getting lost, and I think 12 hours is long enough as it is. There's 2 airports in Tokyo, Narita and Haneda. If you get the choice, Haneda is closer to the city, but travel to and from both is pretty easy. Where's the best area to stay? The metro's really good, so anywhere central is okay. I like staying in Shinjuku because there's lots of shops and restaurants nearby and you're right on a major station, so it's really easy to get to everywhere else. I've also stayed in Shiodome, and Shibuya and Ikebukuro would be good places to stay too. Personally, I'd avoid staying out on the edges like in Odaiba or near the Skytree because it'll take you longer to get to everywhere else. But wherever you choose, just make sure you're near a metro station and you're good. What's the food like? I love Japanese food. There's lots of kinds you'll recognise and a few things you might not have seen before, and in general, the standard of food is really good everywhere. People often ask me if it's all fish, and it's not. There is plenty of fish, but there's lots of other things as well. I'm vegetarian and I'll be making a separate video just about that. If Japanese food's not your thing, there's lots of other choices. There's Italian, burgers, curry, it's all there. For snacks and lunch, convenience stores do really good cheap food, and overall I found the prices to be pretty reasonable everywhere. Certainly no more than you'd pay in any big city. How much cash should I take? How much money you take is up to you, but in general I found prices in Tokyo aren't as high as they're perceived to be. However, you're probably going to want cash to buy things. Not everywhere takes cards. I found a lot of places do, but I take most of my money in cash anyway. UK cards should work in cash machines in 7-Eleven, Citibank and the post office, but I'd advise taking cash with you so you don't have to rely on that. Get yourself a credit card that's commission free abroad and keep an eye on the exchange rate on xe.com. If there's a good rate, get yourself some yen. Planning what to do. There's so much to do. Watch my videos to get some ideas, and if you've got any questions about anything, just put them in the comments. Have some ideas in reserve in case there's a rainy day, and if there's anything particular you want to go to, check the opening times and days just in case they're not what you expect. Also, if there's any particular shops and restaurants you want to go to, print out a map or pin them on your Maps app. A really good one is Ullmann City Maps to Go. It's free and it works offline. I'll put the link in the description. Addresses don't work the same, and not all the streets have road names, so it can be difficult to find places. If you want to go to Studio Ghibli, book it online as soon as possible because it does sell out pretty much every day. How do you get around? The Tokyo Metro looks really confusing. There's so many lines run by different companies, but it's really not as bad as it looks. For travel within Tokyo, I'd recommend getting a Suica or Passmo card. They're pretty much the same thing. It's like an Oyster card in London. You can go on all the trains and the underground. You buy it when you're there, top it up, then swipe in and out. It's really easy, and all the ticket machines have English options. You can also buy individual tickets. Again, the machines are in English. It's quite common to buy the cheapest ticket, then when you get to your destination, use a top-up machine to pay the correct fare. Some of the stations are huge with so many exits, but there are maps and signs in English to help you. There's also taxis and buses, but the Metro can get you everywhere you need to go. And that's it! If you've got any questions, just put them in the comments, and there's lots more videos about Japan on my channel, so remember to subscribe. Have a look at my website cakeswithfaces.co.uk where you can get all my designs like this one. All the best stuff is from Japan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!